All right. This is for real this time. Let me start tagging people. Boop. There we go. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Let's see if that helps. Okay. Try that again. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to tag you twice, Caleb. Sorry. Or maybe I did. All right. Hey, Adam. Oh, here we go. Oh, it says it's adding you. Okay, good. Put me in,
What up?
coach.
Oh, you see that, huh?
All right. Of course, now that I start talking, my eldest, Kai, she is going to start crying.
Mm-mm.
She has got this anxiety it's so deeply ingrained that like literally all she does is she just whines. We can't figure out why. No matter what we do, vest, anything, because we can use Adonis's vest on her.
Yeah.
Nothing. Like she ain't gonna do it. She's just gonna sit there and cry and whine for no reason. It's difficult. Okay, let me see if I can bring you on in this way, Caleb.
Yo,
There he is.
Bruce. What's
What
going
up,
on, man?
man? I don't know, man. I ain't heard from you about 2 weeks, man. You usually give me a call. I don't know when to call you, actually. You be so darn busy.
Man, I've been waiting for the call too. I'm glad you said something. I didn't want to bring it up. I
What?
wasn't gonna bring it up, but man, I've been waiting for a call. You've been talking about coming to
Man.
Bruton for 2 years for lunch, man. I've been waiting for that call, man.
Man, you know what?
How far are you from?
I've been working my butt. I don't
What are
hardly
you?
have any off days.
You off tomorrow?
No. I'm on days this week.
Yeah,
Dang.
this is Hell Week.
We need to get together, man. For real. I know. We need to talk. I'm gonna call you after this live. We need to catch up.
I know, man.
I miss you,
It's been
man.
a minute.
I
Yeah.
miss you.
Oh, how far, Bruce, are you from Bruton?
About an hour and 20 minutes. It ain't that bad.
I'm what, 3 hours, something like that. I think I'm roughly about 3 hours from Bruton, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, Birmingham. Like I don't know where, of course, you live in
I'm
Birmingham, but
literally like just slightly northeast of Birmingham.
that's about 3 hours and 7 minutes
Yeah.
northeast. No, I'm just joking.
You're like, carry the 3 hours and 7 minutes.
Oh,
Okay, I
shoot.
see you. All right, okay.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed your mathing. That was, I hope that was as good for you as it was for me.
Yeah, you north 3rd Street or south? Because that's
Yeah, is it 3rd or South or North Avenue? You're very important
Hey
that we know.
Molly, how are you doing?
Hey guys,
How are you?
What's up?
what's up?
I love the presentation of your back wall. That is incredible.
Thank you.
Wow.
That's it. That's a nice flex.
That is
That's a
really, really
flex, and I'm here
cool.
for it.
Yes, thank you for joining us tonight.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I'm
I
looking forward to it.
appreciate it. So, what's up?
Go. Hi. Oh, Snuggles. I
Yeah.
couldn't
I'll
do
start.
that. He would be in my face and trying to get in y'all's face. You are so lucky that he seems so good. Oh, and another one. They're multiplying.
This is Badu's granddaughter right here.
So, okay, so the one that's on the couch with you, Adam wants to know who the dogs are.
This is Grand Champion Badu.
Yep. Gorgeous.
And then this one down here is a big puppy. She's she's a big girl.
Yeah, see that.
She's about 80 pounds. She's 11 months old.
Yeah.
God, she's beautiful.
There she is.
Oh, wow.
I mean, we just accept that you have beautiful animals. I mean, it's just, to see them, that's pretty dang cool.
Yeah, that was
Thank you.
Dang.
You're
Yeah,
my everything.
puppy. Where's the
What'd you
puppy?
say?
When she was saying,
She's a puppy.
yeah, like
Ants, it's too
11
much.
months. That is crazy. That is a beautiful dog.
So this is Tyrone's daughter, her granddaughter.
Mhm.
But she goes all the way back to Champion Fancy.
That's right. Yeah.
In her pedigree, like everything that is mine is in her.
That's
all the way back.
Well, you know what you like, and you keep. I mean, you produce. I'll give you. Dang.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank
so
you.
usually what we try to do is we start out by letting you introduce yourself to everyone. So, your name, your kennel, any companies that you may have that are affiliated with, sort of like the bully or the dog community, and then kind of launch into what got you into bullies in the first place.
All right. Well, I'm Blue Note Bullies first and foremost. And I also have Blue Notes Raw for Dogs. And I'm Molly, by the way.
I love
I'm the owner, founder, and all of that, of all of it. But I do have dog food. I do that for everybody, so they can experience what I've experienced with it. I wouldn't do anything different. So I try and help everybody get their dogs right and try and keep it affordable, but that's hard.
Can be. It definitely can be.
Yeah.
How did you get into bullies? Like, what was sort of like where you started and then kind of that segue into this?
Well, I had pit bulls in my 20s.
Man, everybody had pit bulls, didn't they?
Right.
It's a natural segue. Pit bull, giant, more snuggly pit bull.
Yeah.
What do you want? What do you want from us? We are simple beasts.
Right.
Simple and predictable.
So yeah, I mean, and I was a backyard breeder. I had 2 pit bulls in my apartment. I was doing my thing, but that I always wanted to be a breeder. That was my goal always in my 20s. Growing up, that's always something I wanted to do, and so I was just experimenting with my 2 dogs, and I learned a lot doing that, and then life happened, and I did other things, and when I wanted to go back to the dogs, I started looking for pit bulls and found bullies, of course.
Yeah.
It was about that time,
Yeah.
And I fell in love because, I didn't want the high energy of a pit bull and the going through the first year of their life and all of that.
Oh,
I
there's a
I wasn't,
velociraptors for the first year.
yeah,
The worst.
yeah. It's just too much. So the Bullies were right up my alley. I was, this is amazing. And then, I started seeing I was Googling websites, shows, American Bully shows,
Yeah,
dog shows, and I'd pull people. And back then it was easy because there wasn't that many,
Yeah.
but I would pull people that had pictures of the shows and first place ribbons on their website. I didn't have a clue about what to buy, but I just went by that. And so, yeah. And so back then, it was a little, easier to find some good quality stuff.
oh, for sure.
I didn't know it then, but I did. I got some good stuff.
Yes.
Who was your first dog? Your first bully?
My first bully was Divine's Heavenly Grace. The breeder of her was Divine Pit Bulls. And he had Frozone of Divine was him. He is a dog that I later found out is in Sweet and Low as well, Grand Champion Sweet and Low. And when I found that out years ago, I was like, oh my God,
Sometimes when you find things out after the fact, you're like, I had no idea, no clue.
But the breeder of Gracie, he told me he was getting out of the bulls. He had 2 left. They were scared to death of everything, but he brought them to me, let me choose which one.
Yeah.
I picked one, and when he left, he was like, you have no idea what you have, and I paid like $500 for her, and I remembered that, growing her up and all of that. I always remembered him telling me that. And then, as the more I got into it, I learned more, and I realized that I had a really good female, and that's what did it for me,
Amazing.
So I had her, and then I went and bought a male that was off of Prime Time, and Prime Time's off of Rocky Has a Hard Head, and I bought him to go with her. I bred them together. I got Deja, which is Champion Deja. Baby, will you go take them outside?
Someone's crying.
It's the
Someone's crying.
puppies. It's the little puppies. They want to be in here
Oh, yeah.
messing with me.
I know the pictures you're posting are killing me. I love you. I can't. It's kryptonite. They're so cute. They're just little chunks. I love it. I love it.
Yes. Hey.
But yeah, so those 2 gave me Deja,
Wow.
and Champion Deja was amazing. I bred her 3 times, and I got champions off of all 3 litters. But her last litter, I got Grand Champion Otis and Champion Lily, and so that just really kept me going. But her other 2 breedings, I got champions from those, and beautiful dogs. And she was just one amazing producer, and just beautiful
Sounds like it.
dog. And the big puppy dog, she's like in her bed so many times, and she looks just like her. And I'm telling you, Deja just passed right before I got her, like right when she was coming up.
Yeah.
And when she came here, the guy that bred her, brought her here at 8 weeks, and she just came right in. Everybody accepted her immediately. She's had such an old soul. She's never pottied in the house. She's just done everything perfect. And there's just little things that she does, and it's like Deja. Things
Like
that
having your girl back.
I swear that dog came back in her.
That's the incarnation right there. She came back. She came back for more.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's wonderful.
but yeah, that's how it started.
Well, I was curious. Adam had asked it earlier. We almost missed it, but he was curious as to how you came up with the name Blue Notes. Like, what inspired your kennel name?
Okay, that was my mother. It was actually my brother. So my mother wanted to start her kennel. She has Australian Shepherds and Frenchies, but when she started, my brother was still, I think, in high school, so he was still living there, and she was like, asking him to help her come up with a good kennel name. And so he's a musician. And so we all love music, so he came up with Blue Note Aussies.
Yeah.
And, so then, here I come. I'm like, Mom, can I please? I'm like, Blue Note Bullies sounds so perfect. Can I please use your kennel name?
Yeah.
So it was all owed to my brother and my mom.
Wow. I love the Star stories.
That's,
So what is her
that's
kennel name?
perfect. What did you say?
What?
What is her kennel name now? You said
Blue Note Aussies.
Nice.
We're Blue Note Kennels,
Yes.
but she shows an AKC, and so it never really, it doesn't matter.
Heck
But
yeah.
Awesome. That's a lot of energy to keep up with. Woo.
oh yeah. Well, she's got her Frenchies now, so she's really finishing up. She's got one more breeding female from her Aussies that's left, and I mean she has her retirees there, but she's more leaning, going towards the Frenchies so they're easier to manage,
They are easier to manage. Definitely agree with that.
Sometimes.
Now they can be sassy, especially the females. Oh man. As far as your food, endeavors go, and Blue Notes Raw, when did you start that?
Oh goodness, that has been brewing pretty much my whole breeding career, because I've been feeding raw for 15 years. When I started with the bulls, that was one of my main reasons for wanting so badly another pit bull, is because I had got a hold of one of my mom's Aussies, thinking I could get away from the bull breed, and she made me feed raw. She was like, okay, I'm going to let you have one of my dogs, but you got to feed raw. And I'm like, okay, so she showed me how to do it, and I started doing it. I'm like, man, this is amazing.
Yeah.
So all I kept thinking about was, man, my pit bulls would have looked amazing on this food, Oh, I want a pit bull. I want to see what they look like being, on raw. And it was, so that is what got my mind going to get a bully. But yeah, so I've always fed raw. And so when I had puppies, I would try and convince my puppy people to buy raw. And I would. I have a customer, he has Deja's sister.
Mm-hmm.
She's still alive too. Deja passed at 12. I think they might be 13 now. I think so. Deja's sister, he still has her, and he still comes and buys his raw every month from me.
Nice.
And,
That is so cool.
So that's been brewing the whole time, but it officially started as a business, I guess, about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Nice. Now Adam's asking for the sauce. He's wanting to know kind of and you can vague it like a little bit, or just not tell us at all. It could be your secret. But he was asking what's in the raw.
Adam went straight for
what's
it.
in the raw?
He went
I don't mind
straight for it.
telling. Yeah, I don't mind telling what's in the raw. I mean, I feed a prey model diet. It's 80% muscle meat, 10% organ, 10% bone. And
write that down.
And that's, you can Google it, and what that's all they need. It's like, it's mimicking the prey in the wild. If they were in the wild and they got their little prey, I would say they got on the little rabbit. 80% of that rabbit's going to be muscle meat, 10% is going to be bone, and 10% is going to be organ. And they're going to eat that, and they're going to be fine. And they're going to go on, and the next day they're going to do it again, and they're going to, they might miss a meal or two, and that's all you got to do. But you got to do it with good meat.
Yeah.
You can't just go, if you go to, the grocery store meat is better than kibble.
Yeah.
And that's what I started on, but I don't recommend it. It's not very nutritious, because they've cleaned the meat, they've processed it, made it great for us to eat, and that's not good for them. They need the bad bacteria, they need the good bacteria, they need all of that. That's what their gut is made for.
Yeah.
And so the dirtier the grosser the meat is, the better it is for them, you know?
I never would have thought that. Oh,
This is Bad Bunny.
oh my
Oh my
gosh. Oh, I want to boop that nose so much. Oh, so cute. I can't. You're killing me with these puppies. You're killing me. Man. Do you so on top of obviously those protein ratios, what do you use any other supplemental, like any kind of vegetables or anything like that?
I mean, you know, I give them the little baby carrots as treats. Um, I don't really, you know, I do supplements occasionally. I do supplements for my customers, but do I do them? Not really, no. Every now and then I might like her growing her up. I have some joint supplements that first year I might
Yeah.
throw in there. You know, stuff like that here and there. I have some minerals I put in there, kelp, you know, and
Okay.
I
Okay.
get all, you can get anything from Nature's Pharmacy with an F, pharmacy spelled with an F. All of their products are amazing. And if I use anything, that's where I go and get it from. Because
Farm.
it goes really well with the raw diet. You know, if you feel like you're missing anything, it's going to give it to you. It's going to cover it. And they're pro raw, so all their stuff works really well with the raw diet.
Yeah.
Trying to see if it's Nature's Pharmacy.
Uh-huh.
Nature Pharmacy.
Mm-hmm.
That one. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and post that
Yes.
the link to that in the comments so that anybody that's heard that can also look it up.
Hey, Amanda, in the comments right underneath it, could you put the ratio too? 80, 10, 10? Just so everyone can, there's a lot of people that are wanting to, you know, dabble with their own raw and really just kind of get into raw. And Molly, you swear up and down by raw. What are the differences that you have seen? I know it's drastic, but
Yeah.
really, you doing them, what are the differences?
It's I mean, okay, so for example, I have puppies, right? So right over here I'm looking at a pile of poop and you can't smell it. I wouldn't even know it was there if I didn't see it.
Wow.
That's just one example. They poop less. It
Yeah.
doesn't smell. Kibble will linger. If I lived in this house with all these dogs and they ate kibble, I would kill myself.
Oh,
It's just
yeah,
no
they
way.
can.
I
Yeah,
don't
that's
know how people do it. I don't know how y'all do it if y'all are feeding kibble because it's just so much easier. The dogs don't smell. They don't carry, you know, that wet dog smell that everybody thinks it's the poor dog. They blame it on the poor dog. It's not. It's the nasty kibble secreting through their pores.
Wow.
You know, it's coming out. And that's what also the fleas are attracted to. Those carbs, all that stuff coming out of them. It's sweet to the fleas, so they stick on them. When they're on raw, the fleas don't get on them. If they get on them, they're gonna jump right back off because there's nothing good.
Yeah, like what? And that was so you would describe it as 80% muscle, 10% organ, 10% bone.
Right.
Okay.
So
Right.
so no carbs at all.
No carbs. Dogs don't need carbs. What do you need carbs for? And you don't need carbs to gain weight. Feed them enough raw, they're gonna gain weight.
Yeah.
I got some fat ones in here.
Because see, I was just under the impression that I hear a lot of people say that you got to have carbs somewhere. So I was just asking, you know, they probably do
why
it through
does
vegetables. Oh, I don't know.
no?
I just hear people, you know, give them like
Yeah.
whole grain carbs or something like
You,
that. Like
you could give them. I mean, you could give them blueberries, but that's what your supplements for. If you feel like you need all of that, go to Nature's Pharmacy and buy the complete.
Yeah.
Or buy the ultimate
It should have
and
all that
sprinkle a
in
little
there.
bit of that on there. And then you don't have to go out of your way to go buy some vegetables or buy this and buy that, all this extra stuff. We don't have time to do all of that. You know,
Yeah.
it needs to be, I got 15. So, I mean, so sprinkle a little of that and then you got it covered.
Well, look,
because
let me ask you.
they're getting most of their nutrition from the meat. The majority, I would
Yeah.
say
That's the
98% of
calcium.
their
Yeah.
nutrition is coming from the meat.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, look, let me ask you this. How much do you give them? Like if you got a 100-pound
Yeah.
dog, how much will you give them?
So you're going to give them, if it's an adult dog, you're going to give them about 3% of their body weight. So you can calculate it, or you can
Three
Google raw
pounds.
feeding
Three.
calculator, and it'll pop up. A calculator will pop up, and it'll calculate it for you. So I don't know how much
That's
you
that.
probably feed. I would say probably about 3 pounds is what
Yeah,
you'd feed a
I
hundred
said
pound
three
dog.
pounds, about 3 pounds. Yeah.
And
And
then,
that's daily.
yeah, but that's a 100-pound dog.
Do you split feed or do you feed once a day?
So I split feed anything under a year old.
Why is
So
that?
they eat twice a day. Over a year, they eat once a day, one time a day.
Why?
Is there?
Why?
Is there? Oh yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? I mean, again, I like to I know they're domesticated, but
Yeah. Okay.
I like to live
Yeah.
by how they would do in the wild. I mean, they would, if they found a rabbit, they're not going to go hunting again. They're going to be
Yeah.
full for the day. They're going to
Yeah.
Yeah.
rest.
That's
They're going
it.
to do their thing.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do
The
stay
next
full
So
a
day,
much
they're
while
going to
longer.
go
more.
try again.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one time a day is sufficient, unless it's a little puppy. You don't want to make the puppy wait 24 hours to eat. So
They
that's my
grow in.
motto.
Yeah.
Anything under a year, I feed twice, and so and they do fine. My dogs are fine. They lick it up. It's after you feed, all you hear is bowl licking, and it's all gone, and then they wait
Like,
until the next day.
Uh,
The big dogs, they poop once a day. It's a little tiny poop.
yes.
Yeah,
So I
that's
know
right.
that they're
it's
retaining
absorbing.
everything
Yep.
I'm giving them.
There it is. Yes.
Everything.
Yeah. They're
Absorbing everything.
retaining
That's
it.
right.
Their teeth are clean. Their teeth are good. They might be a little stained, but they're good. They don't get cavities. They don't get none of this stuff. They don't have
No
to go have
receding.
a
The
teeth
receding of
bleed.
gums.
Right.
Uh, do you feel like when they're under that year mark, and you're feeding them twice a day, do you ever feel like you have to kind of watch the protein intake a little bit? Like, are you a little bit more careful about that, or is that not something that you feel actually factors in?
You have to be very careful about putting too much weight on
Yeah.
them, because they're going to eat whatever you give them.
Yeah.
And so
And a
it's
lot of
very
what you don't,
easy,
unfortunately.
and they enjoy it. And so I get so many people that they think that they're still hungry. Oh, well, they were still hungry, so I gave them another tube. I'm like, what? They just like it. You gotta be strong.
Yeah.
Practice the willpower. Oh my God.
Yeah.
But yeah, but that's the biggest thing, because if you got too much weight on them growing up, that first year is crucial. You got to keep them skinny, and everybody wants bully, bully, bully. And I've done it. I do it too. I have to be careful. And so like the first 8-9 weeks of life, I keep them fat and chunky.
Yeah.
And then once they start, when they go to their homes and I have mine, and they start running, and then they work it off, and then we go from there.
Yeah.
And then I try and keep them as skinny as possible that first year.
Yeah.
And just let them play and do their thing. And then after that, after
Free
15
game.
months or whatever, if they want to eat, let them eat.
Free game, baby. Let's go.
Hey, you know what though? Speaking of organs and stuff like that, like during this season, um, I feed my dogs all the organs except the intestines. They like the liver, they like the heart, they like the kidneys. Whatever is in there, they like it. They like it, and they
Yeah.
just and I just love it during this season.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. And also, this is another thing that people will always make a mistake about: the heart. So the beef heart is a great thing to feed them, and it's not an organ. It's a muscle meat, because the heart is a muscle. So if you find, so that was good. You're giving them the deer organ, and then you gave them the heart.
Yeah.
So they got that muscle meat and they got the organ. So that was really good.
Okay.
You should have gave them a bone to chew up. Then you would have been in there.
Oh, I did. They got that too.
No,
The
you did?
ribs.
So there
Yeah,
you
the
go.
ribs and stuff like that. Yeah.
So yeah, you can do it. You can do it with deer meat, man, and go out there and hunt your dog's food.
Hey, Molly, so people that are viewing in, which they're loving this. I'm loving this. Your answers are so
I'm
genuine,
loving it too.
so
Yeah.
real. I just wanted to put that out there. But
Thank you.
where could the normal everyday breeder get this amount of meat if they have 15 dogs or even less, to be able to do something like this?
Well, I mean, you gotta buy big,
Yeah.
You gotta buy a lot at a time. You gotta be serious about it. If you want a cheap rate, to feed your dogs, you gotta buy a lot.
Yeah.
And just stock up. I recommend buying a deep freezer. You can go on Facebook Marketplace and get them cheap.
Yeah.
And stocking up. I have people that buy, a year's supply at a time.
Wow.
And,
Yeah.
I mean, I'll go take it to them because, hey, I only got to take it to you once a year. I don't mind,
Yeah.
So, I mean, but, and I realize, and I know my prices, like for breeders with a lot of dogs, I know it's a lot, but, you got to figure it out. I figured it out. I mean, I'm not saying you got to go out there and sell dog food, but that's what I had to do because, I had to figure out something because I wasn't going to stop feeding raw.
Yeah.
So I just had to figure it out. And I know it's best. I know it's best for them. I know they're healthy, they're thriving. Their whole demeanor is different than a kibble fed dog.
Yeah.
And, they really are. They're like, I don't know. They'll love you for it. They're very loyal and.
Yes, Molly.
Now you gonna have everybody on live trying to feed raw now.
I know, right? BlueNoseRaw.com.
There it is. There it
Already
is.
posted it in the comments, Molly. It's in there. It's in there.
Hey,
But,
Candy Lee said, "What about prices?"
Prices. I have two different kinds. I have, I always have cheap options for everybody. I have a box of red meat that has your muscle, your organ meat, and it also has green tripe, which is like a superfood. And the only thing it's missing is the bone. So it's an 80-10 mix. It doesn't have the bone. I have that for $65 a box. And
that's what 30 pounds
30 pounds
for that
and now
that
with
one
that
box.
you'll have to add bone.
Okay.
But you can go buy you a case of chicken necks, a 40-pound case. You can go to your local grocery store and get chicken necks. I recommend necks or backs because you're wanting more bone than meat. You want your muscle meat coming from the red meat, not the chicken. Chicken is just for bone. So you throw some chicken necks in there with that red meat, you got a meal. There's your, so that's $65 a case for that. You can find your own chicken necks, turkey necks, chicken backs, chicken feet, whatever, and mix it with that. If you buy 50 of those boxes or more, you can get it for $45 a box. There you go. Woohoo! Party. But I mean, somebody with 20 dogs, buy you some deep freezers and fill it up, and
someone's got a question, Molly. So shipping, how much more is shipping? Where all do you ship?
Okay. So I have that meat. Then I have another product too that's a little bit better. But shipping right now, I only ship over this way. I think the farthest I can go is Texas, and not even all of Texas, but half of it. But I am working with this new company that is, we're working out the details now. It should be up and running within the next 2 to 3 weeks. And shipping is going to be like $10 to $12, or I'm sorry, $10 to $20, and it's going to be nationwide. So it's got California, Arizona, all these people that have been wanting to buy from me and they can't. They'll be able to do it soon.
Wow.
And it won't be outrageous.
Now you're talking
So
about numerous cases, numerous pounds for under $20 to ship.
yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Great.
Yes. So, so that'll be good, and I'll have that on my Facebook page when it happens. I'll try and get it out there for everybody to see, so we can get some people fed over in California.
Oh yeah. Oh, no, whenever you're ready to launch, obviously just any links you need any one of us to share, just give us the heads up. We'll spread the word, because I know that, just like you said, there's a lot of people that are further west than the Texas area that would love to have the opportunity to have that.
Yeah, but right now, I mean, I ship every Monday. Every Monday is FedEx Day, y'all.
FedEx people see you coming and like, oh, okay, here we go. You ready?
I'm telling you, and these boxes weigh like 50 pounds, and it's bad.
Molly,
but anyway,
on
I
Monday,
get it done.
On Monday, roughly, how many pounds are you sending out, FedEx?
I mean, anywhere from 500 to 800 pounds.
Oh my God.
It depends. Sometimes I'll have a busy week.
Oh my
I'll have
God.
10 orders go out, and that's 50. That's 50 pounds a box. 500 pounds.
Respect. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
God.
But yeah, that's rough. And then bagging the meat, that's what really, selling the beef cases and telling people to go buy their own chicken necks and all that. I had a good little following, but when I started making it and saying all you gotta do is thaw and feed, that's when it went crazy.
Right.
Because that's what everybody wanted. But that made me, where I was standing in my basement all day bagging meat.
Gotta make it to Monday, man. You gotta get it all done by Monday. Monday's FedEx Day. It's FedEx Day. I've got to ship the weight of a bear.
Yeah.
Right.
If Monday's FedEx Day, Sunday is going to be hell, because Sunday is a busy day for Monday to.
Right.
Huh.
Yes.
Oh, mercy. Oh my gosh.
Do you do this primarily yourself, or do you have a team? Because that's a lot.
I've done this by myself for the whole time.
Uh,
The whole time. Well,
Take my hat
I
off.
was married when I bought my first, when I bought Gracie and Louie, and then when I had when I had Deja, there was 3, and I had told him that I wanted to be a dog breeder, and 3 dogs, he was too much, so that was over, and so it's been me ever since. I've had people come in and try and take my business from me, but try to take my customers. I've had people come in and, I've been through all kinds of stuff. But then, and then Tristan wanted to come in and be my partner and all that. I let him come in, but, he lived in Louisiana, so it wasn't help for me. We just, collabed over the phone, and he did his thing in Louisiana, but now I've met somebody, and I have a little help now.
Yeah, good.
Hey. It's always good to have some extra hands. So, as you were mentioning earlier, about how, you're trying to feed, in accordance to schedule of what they would be like if they were in the wild.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, y'all heard me right. I meant it.
No, I think Bruce is laughing at the comment that Chris Holiday put. wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, oh
Yeah,
God,
what
which one?
we're laughing at,
Is
there's
it?
a husband and wife comments that he just said,
Oh shoot.
like trying to get his wife's attention.
Oh
Oh,
man.
oh mercy.
I'm sorry, man.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I was trying to figure out if it, like who he was laughing at because somebody a minute ago called you daddy,
Chris?
Caleb.
That was not what I was laughing at. I
That was
just told
Brett.
you what I was laughing at. That he mentioned.
No, I just figured we needed to
Oh,
revisit that because that was super funny.
Uh,
oh
Yeah, he wanted
man.
to go to the rodeo,
back
daddy.
to the
Just keep that in mind.
back to the live.
Yeah. That's a nice little rabbit hole there. Anyways, so you were talking about how you try to do things kind of similarly to like how they're done in the wild. Adam was asking, how do you feel about that pack mentality? Like, do you feel that is something that they exhibit as well, even
They
being
do. We're all packed up, you know. We
I
have
see that.
now look at this
Dude, stop! I can't. Oh my god! Oh
I
girl!
mean, she's not the cutest thing.
Who is she off of?
Bad Bunny's gonna get jealous.
Who are those
This is
off of?
this is off of Grand Champion Otis and Champion Yoko. So Beatle's sister
Nice.
to Otis.
Nice.
So Otis is their granddad.
Nice. That is a beautiful puppy.
Yeah.
Okay,
Again,
back to the wild. What was that question again?
he was wondering, like, if obviously if you believe in the whole pack mentality,
Oh, yeah.
and like, how do you manage that as far as you managing them?
Yeah.
Well, I've had my share of dog fights. We have a war. We have the upstairs dogs versus the downstairs dogs, and
Yeah.
no,
Yeah, they go upstairs like, you one of those downstairs dogs?
yeah.
Check them at the door.
Yeah. Well, it's not really bad anymore. But yeah, definitely the ones that live upstairs with me in the house.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all in the house, but I have levels, so they're all packed up. They're a pack, and but it's a good pack right now.
Yeah.
I've had some crazy packs.
How do you separate
Uh-oh.
upstairs and downstairs? How do you do that?
How do I separate them?
Like, is
Well,
it personalities, or is it like an age, or?
But how do you decide who goes upstairs and downstairs? Like, how do you decide who makes
the unruly ones? So,
all right.
So, Champion Fancy is she has she's bad. She's mean. She was the start of the separation. Her and her mama, her and Deja, would fight to the death. I broke up them like 4 or 5 times in their life.
Wow.
But she was the aggressor, so she was the one that got separated. She was the one that came downstairs. Pretty much anything that's related to her closely is down here.
Oh.
Anything on the Otis and all them, they're all upstairs.
I like that though. So temperament wise, and really trying to get more of attention, more eye on, the ones that need the eye.
Right. And it's that too, because if that's the case, Otis is downstairs, he should be upstairs, but Otis likes to push through and break out of the fence and go find females. So, but anyway, but he stays down here because, Beatle needs to be up there and needs to be, because he's going to be doing a lot for me. So he needs to be up there and learning, how to be a good dog and all that. So
learning how to behave.
Yeah. And he moves around and does more when he's up there than down here, so he looks better, and
Well, it sounds like you live in the huge. How many stories? How many levels? is there another floor above? Like, hey,
There is.
there is.
You forgot the
Yeah.
attic and the
The attic is
lookout
like 2
post.
bedrooms and a bath and a living room up in the attic.
Oh, what?
And so my little junior
Police.
handler, she lives up in the attic. I mean, it's not really the attic. It's like an apartment, but
Yeah.
she's up there and she takes care of the dogs. You know, when I have to go to shows or I have to go deliver meat or whatever. And
That's awesome.
yeah.
That's
So
a pretty
I mean,
awesome
she is my help. I'm sorry, I didn't even mention when you were asking if I did it by myself. But she's a teenager, so she does her own thing. She just comes for rotation,
Right.
and you know, if I need her to do something, she's here.
Hopefully she's not
But
watching this live. She's like, forget you.
you know, but she's not. Look, but I know that my house is good when she's here. So
Awesome.
you know.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's one of those things is like, there's so very few people that you trust, like having your dogs in the hands of, like in an overnight situation.
Exactly.
Like it's like there is a
That's
very
why I don't never leave overnight, even with her being here.
right. And to this day, like I've never stayed overnight away from the dogs unless like either Matt's home and like that's where he's at. I just can't. Like nationals is the only excuse I'll ever stay in overnight. Other than that, it's like I will drive, come back. Like can't do it.
And that's what limits me to go to a lot of these shows. That's why I'm always just right around here, or you know, right around Alabama, Florida, Georgia. Most of the time it's just Georgia because I'm so busy with everything else. I can't get to them. And then the drive, it's got to be somewhere where I can go and come back.
Yeah.
And you know, the older I get, the less the closer it has to be. Like Columbus now is pushing it.
How far is Columbus from the Atlanta area?
Go to Kentucky and back.
Oh, mercy. Oh, bless you. No, so how far is Columbus from Atlanta?
Like 2 hours.
And that.
Okay. Yeah. Like literally, like, so I sympathize with you. I say I have a 4 hour, you know, but I'm telling you, like the one show that I went through that's technically the furthest where I actually showed, nationals doesn't count because I haven't taken a dog to nationals to date, but the furthest I've taken a dog to show was Pendleton, South Carolina, and that is exactly a 4 hour drive. And I'm telling you, I hated it.
Yeah.
The show was great. We came back with some awesome hardware. So obviously, you know, and the hospitality was fantastic, but damn, I don't like that drive, man.
Yeah.
Boy,
it's terrible.
for me, it's
I
like
don't like any drive after a show. It's just,
yeah, it's bad enough because you know you're going to have the show hangover tomorrow, like the next day.
Right.
But you already start that hangover like in the car.
Right.
Like well, y'all, when the music jamming in, windows down, just like don't fall asleep.
Right. Well, back when I used to do the grooming at the dog shows, that was a lot too.
So you were showing everything?
Yeah. And I would have to get there at like 8 o'clock so I could set up and start grooming before the show started, you know, so I could catch all the early people.
Yeah.
So I would have to leave out at like 3, 4 in the morning and get there, set up. I groom all these dogs for hours, you know, and then I'm like pulling off my apron to run my dog in the show ring, and you know, it was crazy. But that's what I had to do because I was single by myself with these dogs trying to do this. And so I had to make money. I didn't have an extra income helping me pay all the bills and feed Raw. I was feeding, you know, that's what I was going to the grocery store. They see me coming. Here comes that crazy lady. I have a basket full of
asking me for shit that we throw away. Like, all that stuff that we don't put out on the shelves. This lady's coming again for asking us. Oh God.
The back room.
Don't let our customers see you. Oh God.
Molly, I love it. I love this live. I said it before, but I'm so glad that we were one of the states that you named, Alabama, that we actually get to see you present a dog too, you know, at opening day. That was the first time I actually was able to, you know, to see you in person at a show.
Yeah.
Just your presentation of a dog and just the dog that you have in front of you and just the consistency of your program, man, it's incredible. It's absolutely
Thank you.
2 puppies you just showed us. It's just such consistency.
Thank
So just
you.
respect for everything you've done and everything you're doing. And again, I am very glad that we're close enough to you that we do get to see you showing.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. Now, a lot of, so, just so people can put this like a perspective, you have put your hands on not put your hands on, you've had your hand in almost an unfathomable amount of like very, very excellent dogs. You've produced so many dogs that that most people, they wouldn't really know it, or they'd be like, holy cow, of course. Because again, you produce dogs that look very, very similar.
Yeah.
You know, you've got that look like pinpointed down. And so how many champions and grand champions have you produced?
Whew.
Right? You're like, oh shit, one.
I was trying to count earlier because you see, I got all those championship certificates back there.
Yeah, we see it. Yeah.
But that's not all of them. I was counting.
Oh, I know it's not.
I'm missing quite a few actually. Well, I think I'm missing like four or five. So I think I have like 15 champions that I produced, and then I champed out. I champed them out. And then I have two grand champions. I grand champed Otis and Tristan grand champed Badu.
Now, some of you may have caught on just by the name alone, but Tristan also has a champion called Tyrone.
Yes.
That's a Blue Notes production.
Oh yeah.
And I'm telling you,
that's my baby boy. He was born right here.
Yeah, that dog is impressive, and it's one of those things where you look at him, and again, had it not been for obviously that being his name,
And I named him that.
Tell him, come on, help you get your shit.
He's off of Grand Champion Badu, and Badu's
Which
name
Erica
is,
Badu, that's her song. I thought,
On and On. And
I
so
love it.
you know, I had him. He was a singleton. He was the only one in the litter.
God, I did not know.
Yeah, and I raised him up, and Tristan begged me from 2 weeks to 8 weeks to give him the dog.
You sit there and poke at you. You're mine.
And so,
I want that one.
you know, so I did. I gave it to him, but I told him he didn't want to name him Tyrone either. He hated that name. Didn't want to name him. And I said, if I'm giving you this puppy, you got to keep his name. You got to call him Tyrone.
I like it.
Okay. So he did.
The things you do for love.
Right.
Yeah, that's an impressive beast right there. That's one of those things that, like, again, once you realize that that's one of your productions, you look at it, you're like, how did I not see that? Of course it is. Of course it is. He's his mother. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's off. He's off of Grand Champion Badu and Grand Champion Otis. Yeah. And then because he was a singleton, I repeated the breeding. And and I got a really nice male Andre. And I don't even really want to tell the story, but I opened my mouth. So I sold the dog overseas and sent him. I shipped him, and he was ground shipping to Cali to go out overseas. And he passed away 2 hours into the trip.
Oh, that breaks the heart.
Yeah, and it was like right at the Georgia-Florida line, and it was like 2 hours, and and I was reading that, and they were like, it wasn't hot, he wasn't panting, that he didn't really, and so I was reading it, and it says the dogs can really die of a broken heart, and the dog was like 11 months old, and he was my keeper, but things happen, and you have to do things sometimes, and so I would let him go, and and he
Mm,
was
mm,
a mama's boy. And so I feel like, he died of a broken heart, and
poor
that was
baby.
one of the hardest things. And that was right around when she lost that whole litter
Oh,
of blue puppies.
yeah,
And that was just
that's
really,
a
really
lot.
hard time.
That was a lot. Yeah, god dang.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Woo.
But anyway, I didn't want to bring that. I don't want it to be sad
Yeah.
about
Aw.
No,
I
you can
mean,
change the
being so
subject.
open and sharing with
yeah,
us.
I mean
Yeah.
that's the kind of stuff that I mean it happens and it's devastating and
Yeah.
it's sometimes something that you can learn from and just prepare for in the back end, educate other people on if it's something that can be
Right.
avoided. I mean, it's just like I mean it's devastating, but it's not the end.
No. And you can't and the only thing that gets me through it and the only way that I know that I get through all that stuff is that, I have all of the rest of them,
Upstairs
I
and
gotta keep
down, upstairs and
going,
down.
Yeah.
I love them
Yeah.
all dearly, and I got to keep going so I can keep them here with me,
Oh yeah.
Got to be able to keep feeding them that raw, man.
That's
Oh my
right.
God. Oh yeah. Oh no, I know the whole eat. They eat before I do kind of.
Oh,
Yeah.
That is.
yeah.
Hey, Molly, to rewind for a second too, and just to kind of highlight this, what you just said, before this, you said that you have 15 champions that you've actually handled, you produced, and you championed them the entire time, and 2 grand champions, correct? Okay.
Right.
I want to make sure everyone kind of highlighted that not only
Yeah.
did you produce, you handled, championed, and grand
Yeah.
champion. So
But
Yeah.
Tristan did Badu for me, and he also did Yoko.
Oh okay.
He might have did another. I don't know,
yeah,
but I think that's it. He might, maybe he'll correct me if I'm wrong if he sees this, but
he will.
he will for sure. But for the most part, yeah, I did. I was gung ho going to the shows, and I had, I'd get my girls in there. And Flexy, I champed out. Champion Flexy is MJ's mama.
Mm-hmm.
So
You can
MJ
tell.
is champion Flexy bred to Tyrone.
Yeah, you'll
So,
have to go to her website. I'll post it in the comments. But if you go to her website and you look at her males and females, Flexi, you look at her and you can tell. You're just like, oh, I don't know what
and
dogs can for you.
Flexy is Beatle's grandmother. So,
Yeah,
and
Beatles.
yeah.
He's coming
And
up.
then we got Doc. Nobody really sees Doc much, but he's a beast. He's a little muscled up beast.
Was Beatle, is that the one that you had at opening, the season opener?
Yeah.
That's the one.
Beautiful dog.
That's that little black meatball that is just like, what on earth?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
You can't you can't appreciate this dog unless you see him in person.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a black dog,
Uh-huh.
And it just like Hangman. Yeah, everybody, oh, he's a classic. He's a classic. You get that dog. You get in front of that dog. He's huge.
Uh-huh.
He's
I looked
massive.
at him and I was just like, no way. Is that who I think it is?
Right.
Like, it's Beatles. Like,
But he's black, so you can't
so
see him.
misleading.
Everybody's looking at him on videos and on your phone, and you can't appreciate the dog. You got to see him in person.
yeah.
Here, put him up.
And then he champed at the opener, yeah?
Get Doc. You got Doc out, baby. You got Doc out. That's the one you said. No, I want Beetle.
Oh,
He's like, bring me the Beetle.
yeah. You bring him along?
All right.
Yeah.
We're gonna highlight him on the live. Take a puppy.
This little dog here, and see y'all can't appreciate her because she's all black.
She's beautiful.
But this dog, I mean.
How old is she? How old is she?
She's 10 weeks
Is she
old.
available?
No. But I mean, this dog, she is just amazing, y'all. I mean, I haven't found anything wrong with her.
Yeah.
And she's also a Doc. Doc is her granddad. Beatles are dad. Otis is her granddad on both sides.
Mm,
Doc is her uncle on one side, granddad on another side.
nice.
So she's all blue note too.
I love it.
Sweet.
Molly,
Well, and Otis. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
your picking process. How do you pick your puppies? How do you pick your keepers? And when do you, at what age?
Well, you know, we all have our favorites.
We're not supposed to.
Right. Here's
Oh,
the big lug.
look at him.
Lord.
Lee.
So
Can y'all see him?
Yeah. That's cool. How old?
unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Hi. Hi, big boy. So my picking process is, I mean, I don't know. They just got to have that look. I don't really have a process. I just pick the one that I feel is the right one.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I have a favorite all the way through. Most of the time, it ends up being that one, but I have changed it. But I definitely go by structure and mass. You know.
They just already big for no reason.
Yeah, and head. Actually, the head first,
Yeah.
because if you don't have head, you don't have a bull.
There we go.
It's not, you know. So you gotta the head. Even it seems it really isn't that important, but it is. It makes the whole dog.
Absolutely.
So that's a very important thing. And then just all your things, a good tail, good bite. You know, and basically I pick the one I like and I pray that it has everything I need at 8 weeks.
Just keep your fingers crossed and be like, please turn out, please turn out, please turn out.
I do. That's what the little boy I just had, that's my keeper off of Otis and Yoko. But every day I say that, and I'll say that up until, you know, he grand champs.
Yes.
Please turn out, please turn out.
Well, it seems like you don't miss. Like your picks are right on point. Someone said, you know, people in the comments saying how you have just the natural eye for that. Well, you're producing it. You're producing litters of them, and you're picking the right one. So incredible.
Right. Yeah, that's important to pick the right ones, and I have picked the wrong ones. The repeat grand champion Badu to Otis, I picked the wrong female, which is why I don't have my female off of her, because I had to let the one go that I picked. I mean, she was beautiful, you know, a beautiful dog, and you know, but she just, the other one that I let go is the one I should have picked. So,
Yeah.
and if he's watching, he knows who he is.
He knows who he is.
I try to buy her back. He won't give her to me.
No.
But he is bringing her to breed the Beatles, so that's a good thing. I'm gonna get a puppy off of it. So.
Perfection. I like that. I definitely like that. How old is Beetle right now?
Beetle is about to be 2 in about 6 or 7 days. Don't quote me on that. I know it's in April. I think it's either April 14th or 16th.
Throw a dart on that calendar. That one.
I thought she was
that
going to say 6
day.
or 7 minutes. I thought she was about to say 6 or 7 minutes when she looked at her watch.
I know she was looking at her watch. I was like now? Like, oh shit. He's like,
I was looking at the date to make sure it wasn't his actual birthday.
Birthday
do
hats.
birthday live.
Oh, shoot.
Oh gosh.
Man.
Well, so I've noticed that. So, and I want to point this out because you'd mentioned earlier about Badu and her sister, and you know the longevity. They live to a really good age, in comparison to some other bullies that we know. But Otis is also aging very gracefully, from what I understand. How old's Otis right now?
Beetle up and get Otis. Y'all go see everybody. Otis will be 8 August 19th. I know that one. I know that birthday.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And you posted a video of him recently. I want to say even within the last like 24, 48 hours or something.
Yeah.
And he's just running around in the backyard, just having a good old time.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh my God.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
that's a testament to the way that you breed and the
Yes.
way that you feed. And
Yes.
absolutely.
Yes. Otis is amazing. And, and I thought, oh my God, I had a little, something happened. I went and bought the rubber mats from Tractor Supply, trying to get them off the concrete, down here in the basement. And he was eating the mat, and I didn't know it because his bed was covering up, and he had ate so much. Come here, Odie. And he had ate so much of it, and he was just he got blocked. We didn't get blocked. We got it out. Doc
Yeah.
did an enema on him and got it out, but
Oh, that'll
he
do
had
it.
eaten this stuff, and so he
Poor
lost
fella.
so much weight, y'all, and I thought he was dying.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my
yeah.
God, I'm losing my boy.
Not this.
Because most of my boys, baby,
Yeah.
get her. Most most of my boys passed at 7, 8 years old, right? So, bad boy
Yeah.
Louie, which is Deja's dad, he passed at 7. Zep, he passed at
Yeah.
8. So I'm thinking Otis is dying, but he wasn't, and so he made
Just
a
got
full
some more
recovery.
package, that's all.
Yeah.
Come here,
Well, thank
Otis.
heavens.
Odie, come here.
I mean, as disgusting as it may be, it's like, thank heaven that that's what it was. Oh my goodness. What a hoss.
Look, right here.
Oh,
Right here.
8 years old.
Look at
no.
this. Y'all hear her growling at him?
Yeah. Oh, she's been growling at him. She's like telling him what's what. Listen, Grandpa.
Like, come on, Mama, come on.
She's over there like, listen, Grandpa, get off the couch. This is my mama time.
He is beautiful. That is a complete.
She is a
It's
mess.
a beautiful animal. Absolutely. Yeah, Otis is he's impressive even now. Like it's just one of those things where, yeah, you have beautiful dogs. It's
Yeah.
fine. Everything's fine.
Hey, Molly,
What?
I've seen a couple. I've seen that you've put that you have frozen semen, frozen, and then also live semen on some of them.
Yeah.
When you start doing frozen, and what do you think the importance of that is? I think a lot of people miss the mark with a stud, and they're like, I wish I had frozen.
Yeah.
I wish I had frozen. When do you start pulling that from your dogs, and do you pull it from yours or just kind of your main studs?
I mean, I have frozen stored on all my boys.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, start at a year old when it's the best, a year, between a year and 2 years, get some collected, if it's a really good stud and you got best of breeds and all this with them, then keep
Stock it up.
collecting and keep storing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely.
So, but yeah, I mean, you never know when you want to go back and use them.
Yeah.
I mean, I got them just for me, but people want to buy them, they can, but
Yeah.
maybe one day I might want to go back and use Otis or Doc or
Yeah.
Beatle.
Yeah. Well, I don't see why not. Absolutely. I mean, obviously you've got a really consistent, line of productions at this point. It's just like, don't fix it if it ain't broken.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And it just keeps getting better.
Yeah, that's that.
Every time I get a keeper, I'm like, this is it. I love this dog. It can't get any better. And then here comes Bad Bunny.
Yeah. Hey, I love this question someone just asked.
Yeah, I saw that.
They put, when do you start and stop using females? And I'm going to put an asterisk on there. How many breedings?
What?
Just
Oh,
I can't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know that my volume sometimes. Amanda, or here, when do you start and stop using females? And also, how many breedings during their breeding lifespan do you do?
I start usually some girls I'll start at their third heat. I like to do that when their third heat comes at like 16, 17, 18 months. You know, sometimes you have them late, you know, that they don't start till late, and so it pushes them up.
First heat's at like 9 months. You're like,
Yeah, yeah. Those I'll usually do it on their third heat because they're close to 2. The others on their fourth heat. So it also depends on what's going on with me. Sometimes, like, you know, I got girls here that they're about to be on their fifth heat that haven't been bred because I haven't had the time. You know, so but I try to do. I get 3 breedings for sure. Well, not for sure. Sometimes I only get 2, and you know, stuff happens. Sometimes I only get 1. I did 1 with Zelma, and she passed, so that was it. And then Fuji, Champion Fuji, she had 1, her first litter, and she was ready to have the C-section, and the doctor wouldn't do it because her progesterone wasn't right, and then her uterus ended up rupturing, and so she had to be spayed after that. And so if I can get to 3, I do 3.
that's
and then there in some lucky instances, like Flexy, I started her on her third heat, and she was kind of easy to breed. I didn't have any issues, so she was able to be bred 4 times, or maybe, well, she was bred 4 times, and then I pet homed her to Tristan for me giving him Tyrone, and she was, you know, retired at that point, but he bred her to, you know, to Tyrone and got MJ. So, so she
went
did
out with
do
the
5.
bang.
She did 5, but I've never had a female that I did 5 breedings on. 4 is probably my max, especially because you're doing C-section and surgicals.
Yeah.
And really, I asked my doctor, you know, Doc, how's she looking there? If I got the okay.
Some wear and tear.
Right.
Yeah.
If after 2 it looks bad, then that's it, you know.
Yeah.
Is there oh, sorry. Go ahead, Caleb.
Is there a certain age that you won't breed, you know, your female after?
I mean, naturally, if they're, you know, I don't know. It really. Let me figure my answer out. I mean, not really. You know, my mom does Australian Shepherds and 7-year-old female, and my mom can also breed them like 6 or 7 times because they have them all natural, and you know,
they're a whole
right. But by the time my females are that old, we're already finished, and I'm on to the next.
Yeah,
they're
retired, living that pet life. That's what's up. Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, so I mean, really, you know, I mean, if they seem, you know, healthy, thriving, and they're active and everything, their uterus is good and no pyometra and none of that, and you know, if 6 years old, I would say they would be fine to breed, you know, I mean, 5, 6, but I don't think nobody would ever make it that far.
Well, so I know that you talk about, or, you know, you've mentioned that a lot of your breedings, you know, they can kind of be built around obviously what's going on in your life, whether or not you have the time to actually, like, you know, whelp and all that good jazz. In an ideal situation, do you feel like you prefer to breed back to back, or do you prefer to skip a heat between breedings?
Oh, that's a good one. Come here, Otis. He's such a traitor. Get somebody new in my life.
Petting that
all my dogs
and
love
letting
him
her growl at him. That's always like, fine, Mom.
You didn't stand up for
it. Okay. So, all right. So, question again? I'm sorry.
No, absolutely. You're very, you're like well distracted with Otis. He's fantastic. I'd be distracted too. Do you, obviously in an ideal situation where you didn't have to base your breeding schedule on, you know, life instances and things like that, Do you prefer to breed back to back on heats, or do you feel like you prefer to skip a heat?
I prefer to do back to back only. Well, I don't prefer to do back to back, but I feel like I'm so scared now of pyometra that I feel like I need to do it
Yeah.
back to back so I can get what I need, what I want from her before anything bad
Or she
happens.
can.
So
Yeah.
it's like PTSD,
Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah.
I want to breed back to back now. And but what I think what I'm going to try is back to back and then break and
Okay. Yeah.
break and see how that works. And then that way I get 2 breedings. And then if a year or so goes by and I'm ready to do it again and, or show career's done or whatever, and I haven't had any pyometra or anything like that, then hey, we can try it again. And then I might do 2 more back to back. So that's what I'm shooting for. And then if they do, while we're taking our break, get pyometra and have to be spayed, then hey, that's just what it
Yeah.
is.
You got the 2 breedings. Woohoo.
Right.
So sometimes you just gotta take it as a gift. Take it as a gift.
Right. Exactly. It is. It's all gifts because
It
I'm
can
telling
be, absolutely. I mean, our breeds, it can be that way sometimes, I feel. Someone had asked a question as far as like, so I know that you obviously, you're keeping frozen off of some of your males. Now, when using that frozen, do you recommend, obviously, if anybody else were to ask, how to actually handle frozen, would you recommend any type of insemination using frozen? Like
frozen, I highly recommend. I mean,
Surgical.
it should just be a surgical.
That's right.
Because they're frozen. So when you wake them up and thaw them out, they're going to be weak. They can't
Yep.
swim. So they need to go right where they need to go or it's not
Yeah.
going to work. So you have to do a
Yeah.
surgical. I mean, a surgical, you could do a TCI, but it's still, if you're paying all that money to get your semen shipped and doing all of this, then hey,
Yeah.
you might as well just do the surgical. So that way you got better chances,
Yeah.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
yeah,
For
definitely
sure.
recommend the surgical with the frozen.
Nice. Good. Looking at some of the questions.
Molly, after all the bulls that you've produced, which are amazing, who's your favorite of all time?
Who's
Your favorite
my favorite
that you have produced? Yes.
that I have produced? Oh my goodness.
Otis, close your ears.
He said, "You
That's
better."
so
He's like, yeah. Let's
that's
give you that
so
side eye.
hard. Like I don't know what to say because I factor in my love and then
All right.
the best in the show
All right.
ring and then
Not
all of
favorite.
this.
Not favorite. Most complete in your eyes. Most
Complete.
The best dog on your yard.
Jeez,
Oh, I know.
no.
I know. I'm sorry.
I mean, the most complete would be Yoko, Champion Yoko, Beatle's sister, Champion Yoko and Beatle.
Yeah.
There, I said it. Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny is. I mean, she's perfect almost. I mean, I'm still. I know it's gonna come. She's 10 weeks old, so something's bound to happen here that I don't like. But right now, I don't see nothing that I don't like about this dog.
Knock on wood right now. Knock on wood.
Right. But she's super nice. There's something about Yoko, like, and I love my Grimm kids so much. I'm so happy that I bred to him and, because they are just, they're different and I love them and they're great dogs. But Yoko is so balanced. She's just amazing. Her movement and, she's not Super Bowl, but my God, she is gorgeous. And she just, the way she uses her tail, like her tail is an extension of her movement, and it just
Oh,
like balances her when she moves, and that's what Bad Bunny has in a pocket frame, and
trotting
she's,
around all perfect and shit. That
yes,
sounds
and her tail,
amazing.
like with Bad Bunny, I could put my finger on her tail and she'll wrap it around my finger. That's how, it's like a muscle. Like she'll grip it with her tail, and I'm like,
That's wicked. That's
so, and
wild.
she just trots on. So, I don't know, but Otis, Otis is my favorite.
That's, that's that baby.
He's like,
That's
I
that
already heard
baby.
you. I already heard you.
Deep down, we're like, we already know what
But
it
then,
is. We know
we
your
have Great
favorite.
Chippy Badu. I love her.
Yeah.
But
I'm sorry to put
I
you
don't
on the spot. Like, I want to know, like, your most balanced dog that you've bred. Yes. Hey,
Yeah, Otis is, if I guess because he's such a bull
yeah.
too, but he's structurally sound, his movement's great. The only thing that Otis was lacking in his day was a great handler, because I handled him. I'm, I just get the job done.
We've seen,
But
we've seen you.
You managed to get the job done a lot.
but seriously, but it's because my dogs are nice. Otis doesn't know how to
You're
freestyle. He
trying
doesn't
to
know.
sell yourself short. Come on now.
Oh, no. But I did. He deserved to get a lot of best in shows and best of breeds, but I just, I couldn't get around and all of that. But anyway,
You got
he
him to
is.
grand.
I did, but I never got a best of breed with him, and I feel he
Oh,
deserved that.
I mean, I will definitely wholeheartedly agree with you that he deserves best of breed. He's gorgeous, but at the same time, again, you got him. You got him to grand. Like that's
Molly, I love
Yeah.
how all your answers, it's based on what's best for the dog. You're sitting there saying that I feel bad that he should have had a best hand because he could have got a best in breed. Like your heartness and just your love for the dogs, like it's them first.
Amen.
You have gained so much of my respect tonight. Seriously, like man, I love what
Thank
you're doing over there.
you. Thank you. I
so yeah.
appreciate it.
You already have,
You're going to
but
cry.
It's yeah. I mean, it's just one of those things where I feel like we've seen you, but it felt like from afar, and then to really kind of dive into your history and your accomplishments and your knowledge. It's just one of those things where it's like I had no idea. I had no idea. So it's like meeting you all over again, but to a whole nother level. So I really appreciate you even being willing to come on here and talk to us three yahoos.
It's no problem. I was excited. I'm glad y'all asked me.
yeah.
I
Hey
appreciate
Molly,
it.
Oh,
real quick before we go too, I know that your mom's had a big influence. Obviously you've mentioned her numerous times. Showing an AKC, being a breeder. Was there other mentors, or was that really how you kind of learned the steps of it, and your mom has really mentored you through it, or?
Well, really, my mom, I was breeding before my mom, really. But so she went, me and my mom, we've mentored each
Okay.
other. We're here for each other. As far as mentors in the bully world, I had my mentors, what I consider my mentors. I don't know that they really knew that they were my mentors,
Yeah.
but they were. but yeah, like DJ of Mo Better Bullies, he was a big influence. Like when I found Prime Time and saw Rocky, and I was just in awe of DJ, and I was all on his website, and he had all these pictures of offspring of Rocky Has a Hard Head, and he said, email me if you have any offspring of Rocky, and I'll put it on my website. And I was like, oh my goodness. So I emailed him a picture and I said, I have a Rocky grandson, hi, my name is Molly. But that's how I met him. I mean, we've been friends ever since he had he had a pet shop and he did grooming and all of that. And he sold raw meat out of his pet store. I bought raw meat from him for a long time, and
Nice.
so he's been a mentor. There's uh, there's a few more, that I looked up to. That Ty Lumley was a good mentor. But none of these people did I say, "Hey, will you be my mentor?" I just got
It just
knowledge
happens.
from them.
Yeah, sometimes it just happens.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, absolutely.
But
If
go ahead.
oh no, I was just gonna ask you, like, if someone came up to you and they were not necessarily like asking for mentorship like right off the bat, but deep down, they're kind of like, please help me.
I'm just trying to ask you to be her mentor, by the way. That's what's taking.
Jeez, Caleb, come on, man, you ruined my in. But like, if someone came up and asked you, like, what advice would you give me if I were just literally starting out, interested in getting into bullies? What would be your first bit of advice?
Go buy a nice female. Put all your money into a nice female. Love her, grow her up, train her, show her, and get you a male, or not. You don't even have to get you a male, get a really nice female, and then you can purchase any stud you want to go with her and start, you can start like that. But take care of the dogs, you gotta take care of your dog. You have to put your all in it. If you want to get all you can out of it, then you got to put all you can in it, and that means you got to put it all into the dogs. I sold everything when I got a divorce. I was taking care of everything. I was making $10 an hour at a vet clinic, hauling my dogs with me to work every day, working double shifts, 7 days a week. And doing all this just to do it, just because that's what I wanted to do. And I had a dream, and I had to do what I had to do to get it. So whatever I could do, that's why I did the grooming, and I did the now I do the meat, and whatever I got it, whatever it takes, and I want to do it right. So you just start out doing it right. Don't half-ass it. Do it right. And if it costs too much, then hey, work harder. Do something else to get more money. If you can't do that, then it ain't for you. You gotta do something different. So.
Dang, I like it. I like it. It's raw, directly to the point, and that's what we need.
That was
That's what we need.
intended towards the raw.
Yeah. Shameless plug.
Feed your dogs raw.
Gotta get, yeah.
That's really all you gotta do, and go to shows. If you feed your dogs raw, it'll make it a whole lot easier. Let me tell you.
No, this has been absolutely amazing. Go follow Molly, man. Y'all give her some love. The knowledge she brought tonight, just the raw, material that she gave us tonight, just the knowledge. We can't thank you enough for everything that you brought tonight.
Absolutely, definitely. I have both your the website for Blue Note Bullies and Blue Notes Raw, both in the comments. Your raw ratio as well, and then the Nature's Pharmacy link is in there as well. So if anybody wants to take advantage of what she's shared, obviously that's a great place to start. It's been an honor, really has. I mean, this has been a really, really good one. I've thoroughly enjoyed it from start to finish. This is wonderful. I'm really honored.
Will you be in Atlanta at the show, ABKC 27th?
Yeah.
I've been to her house, dude.
Yeah, I'll be there.
All right.
All weekend.
I love it. So we'll do. Yeah, I know that. I'm pretty sure, Caleb, you're going. Yeah.
I'm going to try to.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah, but I'll be there. So I will definitely. I'll definitely be happy to see you there. So awesome. I think I'm only able to make Saturday though. So I'll see you Saturday if you're there Saturday.
That's the best day for sure.
It's definitely
I'll have all the dogs Saturday.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would love to see all of them. That's amazing.
All right. So I'll probably be bringing Beatle out. We'll see.
Perfect. Yeah, let's start getting him some champion wins.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, but thank you again.
Bye.
Thank the audience for watching, viewing in. Hey, next Tuesday, same time, same place. And Molly, thank you. We're gonna have to run this back at some point.
Yes. Anytime, y'all. Thank y'all.
Awesome.
All right.
All right.
Pleasure's
All
all
right.
ours. Definitely.
All right.
You guys all have a great night.
You too.
All right. Good night,
Good
guys.
night.
All right.